Hello and welcome to Brushstrokes by Kim. I'm Kimberly Ferguson. Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating the effects of alcohol and salt on watercolor paints. And I'm going to be using a couple of colors because, well, one, because I want you to be able to see it well, but also I have some colors that are more opaque than others. So I just wanted to demonstrate, what possibilities are with different materials. Okay, so also I'm using alcohol, but I'm also using alcohol inside of a dropper. That's alcohol in there. Okay, so I'm using phthalo blue here. So I'm going to use quinacridone rose here and pyrrole red, which is more opaque. There we go. That's the alcohol. And I also want to just drop cool. Use some okay, beautiful. Going with the quinacridone rose. Okay, and the pyrrole red or pyrrole red. I'm gonna go with pyrrole. Okay. Alright, so the quinacridone magenta, I don't know, it's just not, it's drying much faster than the others. Okay. So this is salt now. And then this is just the regular watercolor. And then we're just gonna come back when it dries. But right now I'm gonna continue the experiment using paints that have special qualities. I have a couple of paints that have like crystals in it, like this one has amethyst in it, that's the pigment. And I'm using another shade that is very highly granulated, it's like a unique quality. So I'm just gonna paint with it here and see how they react with the alcohol. And you can even sort of see it now, like even as it dries down, it's quite a bit granulation there. So before it fully dries down, I'm gonna spritz it with the, well, actually, should I guess I'll spritz it, yeah. Alcohol. Okay, so interesting. That's, I don't see an immediate effect with that. So I'm gonna go and do another, oops, oh gosh, my paint is gone. I put so little on the palette. But you can still see the granulation here, so I'm going to go with the dropper now. See if there's any difference. So while I wait, I'm going to do the amethyst, which is a sparkly, okay, focus, there we go, sparkly shade, because it has bits of actual amethyst in it. In fact, actually, I'm gonna do the okay. And that is the special shade, so you'll see the amethyst better when it's dry, but I just wanted to experiment just to see, you know, if there's any differences. There's so many different kinds of watercolors. I don't have all the types of watercolors, but I just wanted to do some experimenting, you know, so for when I'm painting in the future, you know, and I want to have some ideas of like what will happen if I use certain paints with certain materials. Okay, so I've come back about, I don't know, an hour later. It dries quicker than that. So this is what it is looking like now. These were the regular watercolors, and this is the these are like the more special shades. This one's very high granulation, and this one has some sparkle. Let me see if I can, let's get it in focus. You can see it. Oh, you can see it a little bit there. So I am going to take off the salt, and I don't know, it's not looking too promising, but I can show you some examples of where the salt really worked. So I did my best to get the salt off of them, but I was not able to get it off 100% off of this one. But yeah, this is what happened here. So I'm going to zoom in closer. So this is the alcohol results. Okay. And that is the pyrrole red. And this is the hematite again. So this is not the best result that I've gotten before, but you can see a little bit like the light areas where it's like the pigment is moving around. Okay, so let's take a look at the Quin Rose. Also, I think that the paint was a little too dry, so nothing really happened. And this is the pyrrole red with the salt. And you can sort of see some outlines of what the salt does. This is the shade Hematite Genuine. And you can see that it left these little areas that were around the salt crystals. So that's kind of interesting. It looks like the salt is still there, but it's actually not. That's the Hematite Genuine. And then this is the amethyst. So you can sort of see it just a little bit here. But I'm going to show you what salt can do. Okay, so I wanted to share some examples of the salt and watercolor working really well. Yeah, so this is the first example, and you can see here, this is where the salt crystals were, and you can also see it on this side. Okay. Also, with this one, you can see this purple was made with quinacridone rose and phthalo blue, and you can kind of see it. Well, I hope you can see it, but in person you can see like traces of the quinacridone rose just staining the paper, but all of the blue from the phthalo blue has moved away from the star area. Okay, so this is another painting that I made, and I put a little bit of the salt here, and it just really makes interesting organic like star shapes. Okay, and this is a painting that I actually have a tutorial up, and this one has a lot of areas where the salt was. And sometimes like it just, like you can see that these areas have bigger pushing of the pigment, because I believe that's what's happening. But these two are different paints, so that could have an effect on that. But that could also be, you know, this area was a little bit drier since I added in the purple after I added in the pink. Okay, and this is another painting that I added salt to. This is a imaginary flower and imaginary plants, but I think it came out really well, and the salt also came out really well up top there. Also, I think that another reason why these testers could have come out differently is because of the area of the paint. It's, you know, I thought about it, and I think, I mean, of course it would have to take more testing, but I think that because the area of paint is so small, the pigments may not have been able to travel as much as they did on the other paintings, you see. So there could be a number of reasons why it didn't show up as well on the smaller papers. But yeah, I still wanted to do a little experiment, a little comparison between the different materials. For more of my art, you can visit my website, kimberlyferguson.net, or my Instagram, @brushstrokes by Kim. Thank you for watching.